The Vegetarian, by Han Kang, is a haunting and surreal novel that delves into the complexity of human nature, societal pressures, and personal rebellion. The book is divided into 3 sections, each told from the perspective of a different character, revolving around the central figure, Yeong-hye, a woman living in South Korea who suddenly decides to stop eating meat after experiencing disturbing dreams. The story begins with Yeong-hye's seemingly simple decision to become a vegetarian, which is seen as an act of defiance in a society where conformity is valued. Her decision is not based on health, religion, or ethical reasons, but comes from a deeply unsettling dream involving images of violence and blood. For Yeong-hye, this choice becomes a form of resistance against societal expectations and a desire to reclaim control over her own body. Her husband, who narrates the first section, sees her as an ordinary, submissive woman and is deeply disturbed by her sudden change. Her refusal to eat meat becomes symbolic of a larger rebellion against the oppressive structures of family, gender roles, and social norms. The family tries to force her back into conventional behavior, which leads to a physical and psychological collapse. 2. Art, desire, and body. The second section shifts perspective to Yeong-hye's brother-in-law, an artist, who becomes obsessed with her decision and sees her as a canvas for his own creative and sexual desires. He is captivated by her body and her rejection of societal rules, and he begins a strange and disturbing project involving painting her body with flowers. This section explores themes of objectification, artistic desire, and the tension between body and spirit. For the brother-in-law, Yeong-hye's transformation represents an escape from societal restrictions, but his fascination with her is deeply selfish and exploitative. Her body becomes a battleground for his desires and fantasies, raising questions about autonomy and the ownership of one's body. The final section is narrated by Yeong-hye's sister, In-hye, who is grappling with the fallout of her sister's actions and her own unraveling marriage. In-hye is the most empathetic towards Yeong-hye, but even she struggles to understand the depth of Yeong-hye's disconnection from the world. Yeong-hye descends further into madness, refusing to eat altogether and believing that she is transforming into a plant. Her journey towards this extreme form of self-annihilation highlights her desire to transcend the violence and confinement she feels in her own body. The Vegetarian and Symbolism. At its core, The Vegetarian is about the tension between societal expectations and personal freedom, particularly in relation to the body. Yeong-hye's rejection of meat becomes a metaphor for rejecting the violence, control, and expectations imposed on her by her family and society. The novel explores themes such as mental illness, gender, and power dynamics, as well as the limits of personal autonomy in a restrictive culture. Yeong-hye's journey is portrayed as both a literal and metaphorical attempt to shed the confines of her body and mind. As she moves closer to her desire to become one with nature, the novel poses questions about the consequences of absolute personal freedom and the cost of defying societal norms. Han Kang's writing is sparse and lyrical, creating an intense and unsettling atmosphere. The novel's surreal and dreamlike quality is punctuated by moments of visceral violence and beauty. The Vegetarian challenges readers to confront uncomfortable truths about the human condition, the nature of desire, and the consequences of rebellion. The novel received international acclaim for its portrayal of inner turmoil and existential dread. It won the Man Booker International Prize in 2016, drawing attention to Han Kang's profound exploration of mental health, societal pressure, and the limits of the human spirit. Filal Thoughts. The Vegetarian is a powerful and disturbing exploration of a woman's quest for autonomy and the ways in which society seeks to control the body and mind. It's a novel that raises questions about conformity, the boundaries of personal freedom, and the deep psychological impact of trauma. Through Yeong-hye's transformation, Han Kang presents a haunting narrative that leaves a lasting impression, making readers contemplate the delicate balance between the individual and the collective.